Hi, I'm Guilherme Afonso, one of the founders of Nebula Studios, and also a director.
And I'm Miguel Madail. I've been working with Nebula for the past 8 years or so, and I'm also one of the co-directors.
So Nebula Studios is an animation studio based in Lisbon, Portugal. And in this presentation, we'll be talking about our upcoming short film, Don't Feed These Animals, how we came up with the idea, how we managed to produce it while still running the studio, and how we find the right solutions for each challenge we faced. But first, let us show a bit of our work. This is Nebula's reel. Okay. So, as Miguel said, we started working 8 years ago. We work mainly for the advertising business, and we do a lot of commercials for brands, agencies, and direct clients also. But we don't only work at animation, we also shoot live actions, and sometimes we mix both worlds, animation with live action. And I always wanted to create something out of our own imagination for me and for the studio, and something that could define us not only as doers but also as storytellers. So in the last 10 years, I created the opportunity to do just that, and an idea for creating a short was born. 10 years in the planning, even though we didn't know exactly what it was supposed to be, we knew that we wanted to create something without client constraints, product needs, or even the need to please someone else besides ourselves.
Yeah, and in the past 8 years we've been working together with just like ideas bonded together, and but in that time we always realized that we wanted to do this something for ourselves. So in the past 2 years we just decided, let's go and try to do it. And take that leap of faith, with a lot of challenge coming.
Yeah, we knew that some challenge needed to be fulfilled to take the project like this, and they were to have a story to tell, to have the perfect team, to have, of course, time and money, because we self-financed all the project, to have supporters who could help us, and to actually make the film. So these are the 5 challenges we faced to create Don't Feed These Animals. So, challenge number 1.
Yeah, to have a story to tell. So basically, at all this time we wrote all these several scripts and ideas that eventually someday we'll see the light of the day. But we were blessed with this opportunity we didn't realize back then, like 8 years ago. We were doing this commercial for Vodafone, which was with this mafia-style family. And we didn't have a character concept artist. So we found José Alves da Silva, which is awesome and amazing character concept artist, and also a great guy, and the empathy was just instantaneous. José started working with us in the studio, and because like this guy is always constantly drawing, he drew all these great characters that when each time we saw a new drawing, we imagined, whoa, there's a little story in this. What's this character up to? What's his drives, his emotions? So there's a bit of storytelling in each of José's drawing. And like the guy does everything from 2D to 3D art to sculpt to print. Yeah, I mean, great artist.
Yeah, and at one of Nebula's Christmas party, he gave me this drawing, and it was the first time I saw this little bunny, this lobotomized rabbit. And when I saw it, I immediately knew that we had to create something out of it, to make a story, a short. And his name is Lobo. He's the main character of Don't Feed These Animals.
Yeah. However, like in each of the drawings, they are depicting small moments, and moments are just that. They don't really tell a story on them. So we think, okay, we need something more. And of course, like every rabbit, Lobo has this craving and appetite for carrots, right? And so we thought, okay, there's something in here that we can really explore. Like, let's try and take that basic feeling of hunger and the actual action that it leads to, which is feeding, and see how it mixes up with the crazy lobotomized bunny. I mean, something is gonna end up not pretty well. And basically, the storyline is actually simple. This is all set in this mad scientist lab in which Lobo lives. And one day, he sees this carrot in the floor, which by accident he gives life to it with this enlarging laser ray machine. And what happens next is this series of events, all driven by his cravings and reckless behavior. However, at some point, there will be this moment where he will have to fight his own appetite and basically try to not eat the carrot in order to survive. So this is the main storyline, and without going too deep in it, we really wanted to tell more than something that could be fit in action-packed scenes and no juice in it. So we really wanted to convey emotions and decisions, to have enemies and all that kind of stuff that you expect to be entertained within 8 minutes. And in the beginning, we had this clear vision that we wanted to somehow pay this tribute to all our childhood memories. Some of you probably can relate to this. Roger Rabbit, Looney Tunes. There's a lot of good stuff in those animations. However, during our own screenwriting and later on some more of the concept phase, we somehow dropped down and toned down that to a more darker and not so humorous feeling. Something that could be more, I'm not going to say realistic, but not as crazy and wacko. Because the writing process wasn't like a linear process at all. We went several times back and forth with it, a lot of revisions, because we really, like I said, we wanted to pay extra attention to all the details, and especially not make things happen without a reason or just by chance. So connecting all dots is something that sometimes you have to really read it a lot of times and go back and forth with it. One of the rules that we decided should be continuously existing throughout the production was like making mistakes is a need. You have to constantly making mistakes and give yourself space to error. So with it, you can not only solve problems and find beautiful solutions for whichever problems you face. So experimentation is always key. So give yourself time to just fuck it up. This is part of the... There's also a backstory to the short, which basically Lobo exists because the mad scientist was trying to take over the world and make a world domination, basically made with lobotomized bunnies. And Lobo name is actual Lob 0, which means for lobotomized or ictologist beast number 0. Probably didn't go too well the first time. And this is like the plans. I hope you can like, oh, there's one plant there and one there in the short film. And so Lobo is the first of his kind. But like in all projects that I said, like we've partnered up, me and Guilherme, our ideas were just flowing. I started one sentence, he just finished it, and so the ideas were pretty good in the flow, constant flow of ideas, and the screenwriting process was really good about it. And in the end, I think we were proud of the story we wrote.
Actually, the film is not yet ready. So we are in the middle of production, more to the end of it.
Story's closed then.
But yes, so challenge number 1, check.
Yeah. However, from being just this 2D drawing on José's sketchbook, Lobo one day decided, I want some more, and he came to us, to our studio, talked to Guilherme, of course, and we made the casting to choose the perfect rabbit and the perfect carrot, because Lobo is a tough guy, right? And so production started. We gave him some fur, and let's go. 3D version of Lobo. Meet Lobo.
So, challenge number 2, to have the perfect team. As an animation studio, we are always on the hunt for new artists and new talents. So we knew that we needed to have a very strong team to complement our own core team. So we went out and tried to find the missing pieces of the puzzle. And we had the chance to cherry pick those missing pieces. And we couldn't be more proud. It's a multi-nation team going from the USA to Thailand. And for the core team, here's a real photo of our team. We had a big challenge upon us, how to produce an 8-minute long full 3D. So the perfect team was mandatory. And also to have a system to manage all the artists in different places and in different time zones. It was really important to us. From end to end, we had around 30 people that at some point added some value to the production. So as I said, to manage all this was a bit tricky. So we had a lot of tools to organize everything, like Skype, Slack, Dropbox, project management software, which is MeisterTask. It's very, very good.
Good for revisions.
Yeah, and also Frame.io for revisions. So, next. The music. The music and sound design, it's something very important in our short because we have no dialogues. And we needed to convey all the emotions that the characters feel in all their actions with music and sound design. And one of our references was Dexter's.
Also from our childhood.
Yeah, also a reference from our childhood.
And one remembers Dexter's song? No?
No, the intro song. Yeah, I love that music very much. So I pursue the compositor, one of the originals, which is Steve Rucker. And he loved our project and decided to jump on board. Also, we have a very talented team of sound designers from Portugal. They're named Ergonize. We've been working with them for several years now, and it's coming great. So, to keep our vision aligned with all the team was also a true challenge, because we had the idea and also wrote it. The story was deeply defined and clear for us as directors. So we needed to find some, how do I say, some ways,
the best way just
ways to
share with the animators,
to share with the rest of the team. So we did a lot of storyboards, layouts, sketches, previews.
It was just like dissecting our ideas, like in this drawing.
Exactly.
Here, the best way to transmit it.
And of course, we shoot a lot of references for animation.
Everyone did.
Yes. So I've managed to add this one to the presentation last night. We
Thanks.
could almost recreate all the film with these references. They are mainly from Miguel.
Come on, go on.
So this was a really nice tool to explain the animators what we wanted. Wait.
Oh man, come on.
Just one more, just one more. This is very good.
That was different that time. Yeah.
Back
That's
in the
not
day.
me. Shut up.
Okay, so
gonna
perfect
leave.
team. Also check.
Okay, thanks. I'm gonna leave now.
Then to have time and money. So being fathers of a bunch of kids and working full time at Nebula, we almost had no free time between productions. So we just didn't know how to find the time to produce the short. We knew that to make it in the spare time was virtually impossible. So we had to take this endeavor as a real project and allocate time from our daily work. This was actually the hardest part because we had almost zero space to accept commercial jobs, which is a danger. It is very dangerous for a small company like Nebula. So at some point we had to delay quite a bit the production to work on some commercial jobs, me and Miguel, and also parts of the team. So the short delayed a bit.
Quite a bit.
Yeah. It was supposed to be ready today, but not yet.
So we had to come up with something, right?
Yes. Next, to have supporters. So, as I said before, being such a big project for us, we knew that we needed to find some extra help. And that's where when I come up with the idea of contacting Maxon. And they were great. Thank you for everything. And also with them, we managed to get the help from more supporters, like these ones. And we were so grateful for them that we decided to make some animations to say thanks to them.
Yeah, kind of.
And we did four animations. These are like Christmas cards. And they work as individuals, but they also work as a sequence. If you play them in sequence, you have a bigger animation, and we used it for our own Christmas card.
It was basically like our teaser, and each one of them works individually for each brand. So it's a cool way to make give some retribution for their help. So let's see it.
Yeah, let's see. Okay.
So that was for Christmas.
Okay, challenge number 5.
Yeah, so in this promo, they were great because at this time we didn't even begin to start the production really, and we didn't have a single render. So they were really useful to somehow test some of the problems that we could have and predict some other ones we didn't knew before. So it was like stopping it a little bit, go back a little bit and still, okay, let's do it and think of what we need to accomplish. So challenge number 5, to make it and still make it and finish the film. So this was the first stone given, the first concept. I did it and for like feeling the overall mood of how basically the film would look. And then a colleague of ours, João Batista, started sketching some some first initial layouts for the architectural of the scenarios of the laboratory. Let's call it this way so far. And at that time, we spoke to Wanchana Intrasombat, a great artist, concept artist from Thailand, which made the first concept designs for all the sets, just based on some of our ideas. Just spoke to him, and right off he grasped the feeling. Like I said, initially they were much more humorous and light feeling there, but already we felt really passionate by how talented this guy was. And he actually invented some of the crazy design machines, like you see on this machine next to the aquarium, which we kept throughout the whole production. Then the main experimental room. There's also the machine. Can you see the mouse? No. But there's also this machine, which eventually turned out to be the giant enlarging laser ray machine. This was the cave where all the animals are within. And where Lobo is kept, basically where meat is cut. And then the surgical in the surgical room, which was a bit more clean. And at that time, another concept artist, Portuguese one, called Filipe Andrade. This guy makes Marvel comics day by day. It was also a challenge for him to make different kind of illustrations. Started working with us to make a new set of concepts. We had the privilege to be working with Wacom, which gave us huge syntax to work with, which for the guys who drew everything were like, oh, holy grail. Don't touch it, it's mine. Every day. And Flip started making new concepts, which changed and dropped down to this more dark overall feeling. This is from the pantry. It was cool that, us together with him, we decided to let's try to put some elements of the backstory. Eventually, you'll see at the top, there's this door. I'll just come to it. Basically, part of this backstory. But basically, the pantry where all the food is stored. There's a kitchen. There's some crazy experimenting in the magic mushrooms. Yeah, magic mushrooms. Why the hell is that? Then the main lab, which is pretty close to what Wanchana had drew, but again, a lot more detail on it. Same architectural type. Then the animal cave, which became a lot bigger, and here that machine in the back is a design that Philippe introduced, and then we decided to keep it together in all sets. Basically, it's like in our thoughts, this could be something that started with this machine in an operation for coal mine extraction stuff, that eventually someone got rich with it, built this huge Victorian mansion. This mad scientist is the son or somewhat like that, and basically this all set in the underground of the mansion. This whole laboratory is a cave, is a basement. And then the surgical room, which is a bit more clean. I mean, not super clean because this guy doesn't care, but still, and has this huge skylight in the top. Imagine should be like the gardens above, so in the day should allow for natural light to come in. In the night there's thunder, so still more light, and all the artificial light that's gonna have in this kind of scenario, right? And Philippe also drew these very rough storyboards. No time to really waste, and super awesome storyboards. So it was mainly to define main actions throughout the movie. And more importantly, he also created this light values script so we could test more lighting scenarios and how about tones and contrasts rather than going for full color script. We thought that this could be more important to us than color. So next thing was starting for characters modeling. So initial concepts for Marty the Fly, a tribute to Back to the Future, right? Mm-hmm. Marty the Fly. And Marty is a fly. He's a regular fly, but like every experiment, he has mechanical wings, which are how would I say? Which basically
are triggered by the pedals.
By the fly pedaling. Poor guy. Here's the final model. A lot of details in there. We actually signed Nebula there. So the pedal system you can see this. I mean, Cinema 4D tools have a great set of tools to accomplish like the cloners to make the how do you say the
eyes,
the chain. Sorry.
Also the chain, yes.
The eyes of the fly are all made with cloners. It's real geometry, so a lot of details here. It even has our own fingerprints in the wings. Crazy guy. I'm sorry, Marty. Lots of pedal. Then there's also a mad cow. It's all started here in this lab. There's some initial concepts. All concepts here from the characters were made from José Alves da Silva, in the straight jacket, in the closed room, first sculpt of the cow, and some of the renders after a bit shading. I'll go there in a bit. There's always this giant golden fish, like 3 meters high. You see in the concept. Because like the first test, one of the tests with the laser ray experiment, he has this bioluminescence skin. It was also a nice guy. Then one of our characters, a carrot, is a baby carrot. This is where when she gains life, she grows these leafy limbs. So she's very cool. Here's some of the initial sculpts done by Victor Hugo Queiroz, Brazilian guy, awesome artist as well. At first, we didn't quite enjoy, and we didn't really want to have that those common leaves that carrots has. They are beautiful, but then they have these leaves in the top. And we really wanted some front hair, like bald. No, that's not bald.
Not that one.
But this is just for comparing the carrot before life and after gaining life. There are some marks in the carrot in the left that we really wanted to keep continuity with the real carrot. And here she is with these beautiful hair done with the hair system in C4D. Which turned out great to make leaves. And the basic model of Lobo as well. And here Lobo with some fur in it. And the two of them loving each other. I think it's a good friendship.
Love it.
Yeah, platonic stuff. So after that comes sets and props modeling. So as you can see, we have the side-by-side comparison from what Philippe drew and the final set. It's pretty close to our vision and from the concepts. Pretty good stuff. Architecturally, it all came pretty tightly. Again, the tools in C4D were awesome, not only to model but also to do all scene management. We had to learn how to properly use and put it to good use all the XREF. Do you guys say XREF or crossref? I say XREF. I have no idea. Just yesterday, someone told me it's crossref. Okay. For me, it's XREF. I'm sorry if for you it's not, but XREFs are great. So because like we had to keep working on the models and shading everything up. Still, we are still always refining like models every time. And at this moment, animation is all finished. So as you can imagine, working on a model after animation can be tricky if you're like changing stuff, base stuff. But so that's when XREFs came out pretty handy. They have their own problems, but we actually managed to work around pretty well around it. And so continuing on the set, use of cloners. There are hundreds of objects in this pantry. It's a pain to really be on this scene. It's super heavy, but still very, very, very easy to manage all this, of course, with the layers and everything. Again, pretty close to the concepts. Some more of the cage, everything done with the cloners. Even on the animations, they were really beneficial stuff to use to speed things up. Another set of the main lab. Only thing we did here was just to change those cabinets, just because in terms of the shots and after layout, it was more important to see that left cabinet desk. Yeah, desk. Then some of the props. Everything is like filled with detail. This is just the kitchen. I don't think you even noticed there was a kitchen. It's like back there in the pantry. There's even Portuguese iconic stuff, culture, like that small statue is Epoving, this nice guy. Cool stuff to have. It's always like full of details to speak in.
Easter eggs.
Yeah,
also.
Easter eggs is cool, like in the Spielberg movie. And again, some more of the props in the pantry. This is just one of the shelves full of stuff. So you probably imagine, this probably was a nightmare for texturing. No, nothing here has a single unwrapping map. You'll see then how fast it was to actually shade this. So yeah, it was cool. Again, some more of Wacom machines, medical stuff and experiments that had everywhere. This was in the surgery room, some of them. Nice experiment. There's even a complete tray to eat in there for the surgery as well. And this is the final laser machine. We had the idea that we wanted it to somehow resemble a movie camera. So like you shoot in the movie and things come big. Yeah, I'm so big, I'm a super movie star. So let's make it like the enlarging ray machine. And it also had to be something that could be built by the scientists. So it's full of these household pieces, something that it could put up together.
Yeah, MacGyver style.
MacGyver style. And like the old Singer sewing machine, just pumping, putting all the energy on the machine. So, and then next phase came the rigging and some automatic setups that the team did. For instance, the Lobo facial rig controls is an ugly guy, has a lot of facial rigs, could really push some of his expression very well. Also, one of the things that we fell in love when we first saw C4D was the ability that the standard rigging tools out of the box are just amazing. I come from a different software, and for you to like have these squash and stretch things out of the box without scripts or plugins was not easy. And once the guy showed us, and, whoa, that's standard tools? Yeah, pretty awesome. And you can see all the stretch and squash that we initially had a lot, then was toned down, but still amazing stuff that the rigging tools can do to this simple model. Then also one of the things that Lobo has to convey his emotion is when he goes from standard Lobo Mais to ultra wacko mode, his eyes go from black to bloodshot red. They also changed the size of the iris, and obviously they turn red. And this is how we did using the Express, which is another great feature in C4D, just connecting things without any knowledge of scripting, and basically work it simple sliders, so the animators could just let's play with it. Awesome. And then, so cool automatic stuff. There's also some things for the giant fish. In this shot, for instance, where the fish comes, boom, boom, I'm so bad. Then boom, goes against the glass. And here, the animators just needed to actually almost move the fish because like the fins, the waving of the fins were all automatically made by using a simple formulas for the wave motion. Another great thing that was used were some of the powerful deformers in C4D. So basically when he crashes the glass, the whole mesh deforms, everything deforms very well. It gets sliced almost. But what's most important is that the mesh doesn't get overlapped, so there are no rendering problems in the end, which would be quite expectable to be. But no, it really stands, everything fit. Oh, well, come on, man, don't do that. And we later even added some more deformers, so when he crashes the glass, the whole body also expands a little bit, so the volumes gets preserved. Here it doesn't get so much, but still great effect to accomplish. Then some of the automatisms, if there's a word, in the machine as well. Again, for the ease of mind of the animators, they only had to move it and point it and just basically shoot it. There's a pedal that triggers it, and everything is like this mechanical race. So you push the pedal, it pushes the lever, blah, 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 up until the end where the turbine starts spinning and the point of the laser retracts and then boom, shoots the ray. Everything spins automatically. There's a shake slider as well. Not dense. How much does it shake? It's just a bit shake. Is it like almost bursting? The energy rays on the top. Everything is pretty much automatic. Again, huge use of expressos, mechanical connection between things. It was very important. The guys who did it were great. So the animators really could animate. Can I push a bit forward?
Yes.
It's just over. So just like show it. Use Expresso stuff. I mean, for me, this is almost black magic. I still don't understand half of it. Marty also has some of it. So part of his rig is standard joints and standard skinning for the legs. I'm not sure even if he has. Yeah, she has skinning on her body, for instance.
Yeah, a bit.
But then once she puts her feet, come on, man, pedal, go, 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 go. Do it. You can do it. Fly. Yeah, it's all again just a simple slider. So it was fun to, if you want to go down and go up, you just have to change the sliding speed and she flies more or less. Let's go. So next phase was to deal with fur, which we thought fur is like, it's fun until rendering, right? It's pretty much like that. But a lot of fun. And C4D has, again, awesome fur tools out of the box. The way that you simply mix all those properties of fur, like clump and thickness, everything is mapped. So there are a lot of controls that you can benefit from C4D standard tools for fur. And some of the initial, look dev stages of making the fur, I had absolute zero experience on C4D. It was me doing all the fur, so it was in a couple of months that I basically learned part of C4D and made all this. Of course, not alone, but still intense job. It's not easy, but still very. You can pretty much predict. Exactly. It's very intuitive to add some more layers and stuff like that to get the look that you want. And again, it's a very Lobo has this very short hair, which real rabbits don't have really short hair. They are really skinny but have long hair. And this was it was a problem to us. In the end, we thought we should shrink a little bit in the mesh after animating. So XREF again, crossref again, awesome because we managed to go back at basically a displaced deformer on the top. And just don't affect the nose and the eyes, and everything like shrink like 1 centimeter, and then put the hair a little bigger in the end. So the results were even better in the end. Then some, should I play it? Some early animation tests, testing how everything would be. At this time, Lobo was a happy guy. Running throughout the field. No more. However, when I was testing all the hair, I came to this like dead end, which is, in this case, for instance, I have 1 million hairs just in the arms. So, and we were using already Redshift, but still starting to calculate all these hairs, and just on the arms took like 6 minutes. I don't know, 5 minutes. So for me, if I really wanted to, can I pause it?
I don't think.
No, just go back a slide.
No, I can.
Yeah? So imagine that you are trying to put some more hair, trying different clump styles, anything at all, and have to wait 5 minutes. Just click 5 minutes. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. So I thought it would be cool if you could have a way to see the exact same hairstyle, but in a simple patch of hair. I mean, not in a plane, in a different scene, same stuff. And I didn't find a way to do it. There are the thickness maps. You can somehow apply the same maps to the origin of the hair. But either it will change the hairstyle, or, for instance, if you map in the thickness, it will still calculate the 1 million hairs, but then show you that patch. So not really a good solution. So this was like some weeks ago when I actually tried. Let me try Express if I can get a hand of it. Come on, man. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Here.
Oh, let it run. Let it run. Let it run. Let it run from the beginning. It's okay. So basically, I tried to make this. I figured, okay, if 1 million polygons, if 1 million hairs are in the 1,000 polygons, and I just want to have like 100 polygons, I just basically let's divide one by the other, get the percentage, and apply that result to the number of hairs and divide it by that number. So instead of 1 million, it divides by how much the hair it needs on that specific patch. And fortunately for me, it keeps the hairstyle. It keeps all the clumps. I mean, everything that's random, it changes a little bit, but you keep the same hairstyle, and like it 10 seconds to see the results. So it's a great way to, let's try 2 million hairs instead of 1 million. Oh shit, I'm gonna wait 10 minutes, I can't do it, I'm gonna die. So no, let's do it. And it was actually one of the things that we did. In some final shots, we realized we need more hair. And this is one of these occasions. We need more hair on the arms, so let's just double it. Let's see how it goes. And it works really, really beautiful. So next thing, animation, which is the art of making mistakes. Rule number 1, always allow yourself to make mistakes. Experimentation is key. And even if we have really clear visions, sometimes good ideas come from mistakes and from the animator's ideas. So here are some blocking stages. It was really important that animators could, instead of spend 3 days showing us a good blocking or a good animation, no, just spend 3 hours one day, show us the bad stuff. We know, we are from the same area, and we'll go from there.
Where have I seen this?
I don't know. Never seen this. I have no idea. So from the first blocking, I think it was me who actually blocked this.
Yeah,
well.
Because we had those
yeah, so I actually blocked this sequence.
Simple rigs.
Yeah, we had those rigs.
See there.
Super light, yeah. Just cut models and then give to a proper animator to do their
these
their
simple
magic.
versions of the rigs.
Yeah.
Super easy to use. Okay. Next.
Yeah, but experimentation was really beneficial for that. There's also a couple of 2D animation here and there, in the form of simple added elements, and also some of more intricate animations. Sorry. Yeah. For instance, this is not a bug. This is actually like 8-bit animation. This is a part where Lobo is thinking. He's imagining.
He's planning.
He's plotting. If I make the carrot bigger, I'm gonna eat it. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be huge carrot. But since his thought process is very dull, 8-bit it was cool because it gives this like low resolution stuff, which is what was really nice way to show how the way that this guy thinks. Then texturing and shading all of these hundreds of models. So like I said, only things that have unwraps, I mean, not UVs, everything has UVs, but not unwrapping except for the main characters and some props that you can really see close to the camera. And some of them don't even have. So really gain in terms of speed. So, and then we started using Substance Painter. These are for like the carrot, where you simply paint all the hand textures and extract all the maps, like the base color, normal map, maps for SSS and roughness. So where we painted, and then the most important use also in Substance Painter was to make tileable maps of all kinds of media, from ceramics to woods to grasses to leathers, I mean, you name it. And also, of course, a lot of masks, some grunge maps, there's dirt masks that we can then build some complex shading networks, almost procedurally, just by using 3 or 4 textures. Like in this case, there are only 3 materials here. One set of glasses on the top, set of plastics, and set of metals. And here, basically, we found a way to use, and it's not with the variation shade, it's all within Redshift, but still using like the display color in the viewport. Just change that, and you have complete randomness in the roughness, in the color. There's no tiling of the rust patterns in the metals. So imagine for us, it was great if you needed to change anything at some point, you just change one material and not hundreds of materials. Again, this is all just using cubic mapping, for instance. It's all based like in triplanar mapping, for instance. And so it's super speedy to do. Again, it was awesome at this moment. And then also Redshift was invaluable tool for the look dev, also thanks to NVIDIA powerful GPUs. Yeah, I mean, even at 1080, even at my home I have a 970, yeah. And it was still almost like in real time. It's really amazing how fast this stuff goes. And for the look dev, this is super important. I mean, I was making textures with the environment volume lighting on, so I'm crazy. Then, so let's go for lighting and rendering of the shots. We had, again, with the XREF system, we had like this general lighting scene that we would load into each shot, just to keep continuity between all sets. But then every shot is lit for shot by shot. Basically, there's no other way around. And to keep it more visually appealing, of course, we really have to do it. And it's a pleasure. I mean, here's, for instance, can it? Is it playing? Yeah, no, do it. For instance, here, let me show you. This is a real time. I didn't speed this up, so I'm sorry. At the beginning is a bit slow, but it's when I lit this shot. This is like a complex shot. It's filled of full geometry. There's a huge sculpt in the back. Not so many textures because, like I said, pretty much all the materials are procedural. And I'm just adding the light layer by layer that I wanted. One thing that's important, once we had Redshift with us, we thought, let's like stress test them to the max. And instead of rather, in the end, compositing everything hundreds of passes, no, let's put everything on camera. Let's do it like real camera, and let's make real depth of field, motion blur, volume lighting, everything on the beauty pass. Let's try to keep the compositing just 4 passes at all, just to, for sake of anything if you need an ID pass. So you can see how quick it is for Redshift to start calculating another layer of light. And in the end, I also start putting depth of field in the same shot. You're spinning up.
Mm-hmm.
I film it. 10 minutes. So in the IPR, it's great for if you are directing this and lighting and rendering. It's very quick to understand what you're gonna get in the final rendering without composite tools. So basically, composite is just that, 4 passes. Just 1 or 2 times you need an extra ID pass, some mask, nothing else than this. And this was really great. Some color grading, some of the shots that we rendered. However, of course, IPR is cool, is fun, is quick, but for final renderings and push sampling up to keep to get it almost noise-free, you really have to have some rendering power, and that's when we asked Grid Markets for their help, which they came along as well for massive GPU power. Mm-hmm. Again, we do Orion VM super horses basically, and they are rendering everything. Some of the shots and details we did throughout the short. Hey Marty, how's it going? Keep pedaling, man. And basically this is the production. We're still in it, and we really want to thank all of our supporters, especially Maxon. Without it, anything would not be possible at all. Like I've said, I came from a completely different background in 3D software, and once João Batista showed us what it could achieve without any specific plugins, we were just, oh my God, that's magic. I've already tell everything about the Espresso stuff. You guys probably know even Cinema 4D better than myself. Obviously, I only started working with it for a year ago, not more.
Yeah,
and
1.5.
I'm only pretty much in the look dev and lighting stuff, just getting my hands on the other tools, and it's super intuitive and fast to go through. You can probably say words about how this affected the whole pipeline, right?